Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be going over my tentative channel plans for the coming year of 2025 for my BookTube and AuthorTube content, and a little bit about my PenTube content. And just let me know down in the comments your opinions on my planned upcoming topics, some of which I still have not gotten to yet, despite announcing my plans to do them in prior years. Like, let me know, do you like the topics? Are there any similar topics to the announced ones you think I should also be doing? Any additional, like, new, completely different ones? Or just point me towards maybe some tags I would like, or maybe a couple of readathons, or just general things in my main three topics. I just made the list of basic notes to go through. So, like, number one, I'm going to keep at least trying to keep improving my thumbnail game, my lighting. I still don't have the best lighting system, particularly when it's overcast like this. I unfortunately just don't have a lot of control over when and where I can film in this house. I think I've gotten a lot better at my editing, but I know there are still like some things I could probably stand to learn to do, although since I'm not like the TikTok generation, sorry, there are some things I could never see myself doing in videos for editing, even if I knew how to do them. Like, for example, oh, something funny, or I think this was funny, so I'm gonna like milk it for all it's worth, and I'm gonna do a slow-mo replay, and I'm gonna do it replayed and reversed, and just like, that's not something I really would ever be interested in doing. It's just, not part of my generation. I'm way too serious and intellectual for that kind of stuff, and I still need to get an overhead tripod for when I do my pen and ink videos. I'm well aware of the fact that people are probably like DNFing my videos or downvoting them because, oh, this person doesn't have an overhead tripod, just like aiming the computer screen down and the writing is showing up backwards, and so that's an amateurish hack and unprofessional. I'm going to watch PenTubers who have much more like updated, like modern, like in your face, I guess, like more like high tech, I guess, more higher quality, that's the word I'm looking for, equipment. But I'm trying the best I can with the equipment which I do have, and I am really seriously like researching and looking to get some affordable equipment I feel would work best. And I never really thought I would need like overhead tripod like that, because books and reading and writing, that really doesn't require being like overhead. And so when I started doing PenTube videos, I quickly realized, oh, maybe I should get that instead. But like, trust me, I am going to work as hard as possible and continuing to improve my game. My thumbnails, I thought they had improved since I started using Canva. I mean, I guess maybe they're a little bit better than they used to be when I just took the picture in photo booth and then like would add some text and preview. And sometimes if I was really bold, I would maybe do like whatever picture, it didn't matter, and just like cover that completely over with like other images, maybe like thumbnails of books I was discussing or something like that. But I mean, people still aren't clicking on my videos. I have a poor click-through rate, even though I thought I was improving my thumbnail game. I still have a low watch rate, so I guess I'm still obviously doing something wrong for people to not want to click on my videos. I haven't, built up a team of friends, or I didn't go around like collecting and networking people before I even started making content again. So I failed there, but I really always try to, improve my game. So moving on, I still need to catch up in a couple of tag videos, both ones which I was tagged in on BookTube, and a couple of ones which I copied and pasted them into a Pages document and for pen videos, but I haven't gotten around to those yet either. And I think I still also have a couple of like BookTube tags and AuthorTube tags and waiting around in Pages documents that no one tagged me in, but I just thought they sounded interesting and fun to do, and I still have not yet gotten around to doing those. So expect, throughout the year I will hopefully be getting around to do all of those, but I will continue choosing quality and genuine interest in tags over quantity and just desperation for clicks. Oh, look at me, all doing like 10 tag videos every week, or like one video a day every single month. Oh, people will really want to click on my videos now. That's kind of engagement farming. I don't know if that's the right word. I think engagement farming is more when you say deliberately inflammatory stuff you don't necessarily believe, just because you want to get like people like commenting on your profile and like boosting your algorithm and stuff like that. But that's always been about everything I do on my channel. I'm sorry if I'm speaking too fast. That's another thing I need to improve. tech-wise, I've done topics and tags and readathons or whatever, read-alongs, whatever kind of content I'm doing, I do because I genuinely like to do it, not because, oh, I saw name, and name who are all very popular in BookTuber, AuthorTuber, PenTube. They were all doing this, and I guess I had better like jump on that gravy train and bandwagon and just mindlessly do all the tags and topics they're doing because, that's how you make real genuine friends, just mindlessly following the crowd. That's never been my MO at all. And I will continue severely limiting readathons. I only did a few last year, middle grade March, and I started with the Historathon, but I didn't get too far in it, unfortunately, and I had planned to do much better than I did the year before. Maybe I'll try again this coming year, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think I did like one or two other readathons, but I really feel like readathons weren't like something that was working for me. That's why I decided to like start like severely limiting the ones I participated in. I've mentioned this in multiple prior videos. I've just, I'm not saying this to insult anyone or like they're bad people or anything like that, but I just was, I guess, had naive, unrealistic expectations going into BookTube. I've been too burnt out by massive past disappointments and failures. I thought, oh, this would be great. Oh, I'm so excited and nervous about starting to do readathons. So people are going to come to my channel. Nope, did not happen. Like I really thought it would be a great way to network and make friends, but apparently people generally only come to readathon videos on BookTube, or I guess like write-a-thons on AuthorTube. I haven't like delved too deeply into that yet. If they already know the people, they're part of a pre-existing group of friends, or they're coordinating stuff together on a Discord. It took me ages before I found out a lot of like booktubers are like talking together on Discords, and also the other niches I'm participating in, like AuthorTube and PenTube, and they're talking to one another on Voxer. I've never heard of this. I didn't like get a Voxer until like 2022 sometime, and I still like rarely ever like use it because most people don't send me messages. So I had no idea these people were like coordinating like activities and buddy reads and readathons and just general things behind the scenes, even like in-person get-togethers if they live nearby or they're visiting. So really, I'm not part of a circle of friends. I have like some friends, I would consider genuine like YouTube friends on like BookTube and AuthorTube and PenTube, but I'm just not part of like an actual circle of friends like most other people seem to be, unfortunately. And I thought that would change when I did the readathons. And also, I mean, I'm not like throwing shade on anybody, like run your own readathon however you want, but I kind of had naive expectations that all of the hosts would be going around to watch and comment on the videos of people, not necessarily all the videos, but particularly when they see the name of their readathon or the hashtag they told people to use, just to say, oh, hey, thanks for joining in my readathon. I'm happy to have you along. Like, oh, this is my first readathon. I'm glad to see some people are participating. Like, good luck, have fun with it. But that just, most of the readathons I've done, like the hosts have not come around to like almost none of my videos have had hosts coming to them. So, run your readathon however you like, but I just had like very naive, unrealistic expectations going, and maybe I should have spent some time like collecting friends and followers and supporters before I even started regularly making content again, or like maybe I should have started all over again with a brand new channel instead of just adding content to the channel I already had, but just was only using to like watch videos and make comments that might have like done something to like mess up my algorithm. And I have a video from like 6 or so months ago announcing my plans, not concrete plans or anything like that, but I do at some point, I would like to host a readathon in May for Jewish American Heritage Month, and I went over a whole slew of potential prompts and group reads and things like that. But I'm not going to humiliate myself by hosting a readathon where maybe 2, 3, like 5 if I'm lucky people participate in, and I particularly don't want people to like, get angry at me or annoyed, like, ew, who are you? Why are you hosting a readathon? We don't know you. Like, go away. Like, get some more friends before you deign to host a readathon. You're just making yourself look like a loser joke. Like, kids like bullying in high school. I know people probably are not going to do that, but I just have, some CPTSD from being bullied in junior high and a little bit from like the social like rejection I got in the high school I attended my junior year. That was just people just like were not welcoming at all. And I guess like we know trauma rewires the brain, so I just can't help having some irrational like thought processes and patterns like that after past like traumas and really bad associations with being rejected by people I had hoped to be like friends with, or who just wouldn't give me a chance at all. But I will not be hosting any readathon, that or any other, until I have enough clout and name recognition. Like most people don't tag me, they don't casually name drop me like they do with other people. I've only done one buddy read to date. Not that I'm complaining. I mean, I didn't even know that was a thing. And like, you can invite whoever you want to do your readathons and buddy reads and stuff. I was just like really naive and expecting I would, have a group of friends by this point. And that's why I only tried one tag video for my 200th video. And I think it was September 2023, I did that. I did put in the subtitle of the video a 0 expectations tag, and my expectations were met because 0 people did do that tag. I never tag people, not because I'm trying to be like snobby or like forgetting like accidentally on purpose to tag people. It's just like I don't know, I never know genuinely who's going to be commenting. If the same like 5-10 people like they commented on all of my videos, or at least on like 85-90% of my videos on a regular basis, I would know, oh, this person and these people and these friends, oh, I know they're going to be watching this video, so I can go ahead and safely tag them. I know they will see the tag, but why would I humiliate myself tagging people who don't know who I am, or who might be like, friends or acquaintances, whatever, but they just don't watch enough of my videos to take note I've tagged them. I'm not going to humiliate myself by just tagging people who never respond to being tagged. Like, anyway, and as I did mention previously, I will keep doing original topics I like over mindless copycatting, even if that means I'm still going to be like screwed over by the algorithm and analytics. People are not going to be jumping over to view my videos because they're not like flashy in your face full of like slang like, so today I may or may not be talking about all the things, y'all. Have I overused the word y'all to the point of parody yet? Like all the under 30 TikTok crowd, that's a whole rant for a whole other topic. I'm just not into like mindlessly like copycatting and following the crowd just to try to get popularity. If people click on my videos, like I want them to genuinely be interested in the content, not just because, oh, they're just mindlessly collecting a bunch of people to subscribe to, or they just like want to watch a video for a few minutes and then move on because I did, hey, today we're talking about XYZ and we're starting right now, and I'm not trying to build a personal relationship with you or tell anything about who I am as a person. I'm just like, oh, I'm answering a question you have, and I'm being like really doing a B-roll and background music and fun sound effects and stuff. Like I have a previous video about why I pretty much like 99% stopped watching the how to improve your channel niche, because I was trying all these things and it was just making me feel even worse about myself. Like, why am I still not having channel success? I'm trying so hard to do everything they mention and nothing is working. So like, just, it helps. A lot of stress went off my mind when I just stopped watching those videos so often. And I don't even think a lot of their content, it's well-meaning and it might help for some niches, like if you're promoting a small business or you're a gamer or something like that, or maybe like beauty YouTubers, something, whatever, but it doesn't really seem so attuned to people in the niches I primarily am making for, like, BookTube and AuthorTube and PenTube. Like, for example, Nate Black, I don't remember if this was, he might have still, what was it, his channel readers or something, like channel makers, that was his channel. He went off on his own, no hard feelings between the other people who were still on the channel makers, but he was, I don't remember if I'm subscribed to this woman. She looked vaguely familiar from BookTube. Her name is, I think it was Austin, and he was making fun of the beginning of her video in a roast video. it was basically, oh, today I'm going to be talking about the books I read in August, and he's like making fun of her in a deliberately exaggerated monotone. Like, what was wrong with that? That's the way a lot of booktubers start their videos. Like, most booktube videos aren't answering a question, like how to do this. It's just a completely, different milieu that he's not familiar with. It's just well, the things they're suggesting, I'm trying to say, aren't what like necessarily works for the niches I'm in, and that was just causing me like way too much stress. And as I've said also, I'm hoping to get back to making a lot more Dantean content. Believe it or not, there are a whole slew of topics I haven't yet covered, and of course all my Dantean videos are based off of blog posts, so I've got to get to making those blog posts as well. For example, I've still not made my video or post about the Contrapasso Part 2 in Purgatory, which is like basically whatever sin you committed in life, you'll be reminded of in your punishment in hell or purgatory. Like, for example, the prideful in purgatory, they're like carrying these huge boulders on their shoulders, so they're like bent over close to the ground and being like humbled after being so prideful in real life. Or the lustful in hell are blown around by like a crazy whirlwind to be reminded of how they let themselves be like drawn astray, or like whipped up into like insane passions or whatever by their uncontrolled lust in real life. I'm going to be talking more about artists who have illustrated the Divine Comedy, like William Blake, Gustave Doré, of course a whole slew of other ones, films based on the Divine Comedy. I'm pretty sure maybe I did, but maybe I'm confusing it with another video. I don't think I have yet done La Vita Nuova, Dante's beautiful, I think it was his first major work published, not counting his various like poems and stuff before he wrote the Commedia. It's a combination of autobiography and like beautiful poems about Beatrice. I would really love to do a video about that one if I haven't already, but it would be better if I like reread the book before I like went in to do the video. I'd also like to do general summaries of each canticle, which I don't think I've done any of those yet. I might have done one on an Inferno, but I'll have to check through. I don't think that was just like maybe something else I'm thinking of. Just lots of other fun Dantean content. And for the AuthorTube side, I would like to continue doing top 10s of suggestions for, and this would be for both like BookTube and AuthorTube. A number of my videos do have crossover. For example, even if you're not a writer and these aren't like suggestions you yourself would use for, oh, this is something cool maybe I could write about, like, oh, these are things you like to read about, like let me know, would you like to see more historical fiction with these settings, like what's your favorite, which has like particular setting like that. So for example, these top 10s of historical fiction suggestions would be great plagues to write about in history that aren't the ones people associate with, like the Black Plague in the 14th century in Europe, like great fires in history, suggestions for Jewish historical fiction, original like angles for Titanic, alternative history and historical fiction. Like for example, like instead of doing the same old story over and over again, why don't you like write your story from the point of view of a passenger on the rescue ship Carpathia? Like that would be like, who's done that ever? Like that's on my queue of like stories I would love to write at some point, or just like various alternative histories. Like maybe it's flipped and like the Carpathia still comes to the Titanic's rescue, and then like during World War II or like World War I, Titanic ends up coming to the rescue of Carpathia. Like, so it's totally flipped, like really interesting angles. These are all would be based on blog posts. And of course, since this is one of my favorite topics to talk about on BookTube, I will definitely be doing some more videos to add to my playlist called Beatrice Sparks Was a Vile Fraud. And vile fraud is in caps. It's an homage to one of her pet fetishes, constantly writing in all caps. There are 3 videos and blog posts I didn't get around to in my long series about everything wrong with It Happened to Nancy and some like general observations and such. These would be basically a compilation of like mommykins worship. I'm not exaggerating when I say that It Happened to Nancy has the most over the top, like teeth gratingly annoying, like obnoxious, like that teen never said that type mommy worship. Like what teen, well-adjusted teen girl is constantly waxing lovey-dovey about her mother. Or just love crawling into bed with mommy when there's a scary thunderstorm, and brushing mommy's hair and giving mommy back rubs. And who cares about teenagers when I can hang out with a woman in her 40s or 50s? Like that's exactly what Nancy talks like throughout the whole book. And then their compilation would be obvious Mormon references. Like, this book is littered. I think this is like number one out of all of her books that I'm familiar with that I've read to date, that there are so many like obvious Mormon references. Particularly, like, Nancy's supposed to be a Catholic, but why is she constantly doing like very, very obvious Mormon references? Like, oh, Lou and I were together in a world of our own before we came to the earth, and after we die, we're going to be sealed together and master and mistress of our own little planet. Oh yeah, that's kind of textbook Mormonism. That's so many other things. And that teen never said that. Like, Nancy talks like no realistic teenager in this. This also applies to all of her other books. Like, they don't sound like teens at all. They sound like 70-year-old conservative Mormons preaching at their cult general conference. And there are a couple of Sparks books I have not yet read. Kim, Empty Inside Voices, which is kind of hard to get a hold of. She interviews 4 runaways in the late 70s, and this book totally got hammered when it was published, so she decided to go back to making fake journals. At least then, she wouldn't take the flame if people didn't like it, and they would be more likely to believe it was real because, oh, a teenager's sharing his or her personal thoughts. And I have not yet done a video on Jay's journal, though I have like mentioned the sad real story behind it and the disgusting way she like made up a fake bizarre satanic theme. Like, the family was so hurt by this fraud, really like, screwed them over, and she took no responsibility, like blamed them. It wasn't her fault. Oh, I can't wait to rip this book apart. But it would be best if I like reread it first, so I have it a little bit like more details fresh in my mind. And I DNF'd Almost Lost, the one when she's basically like grand goddess of the universe. Oh, it's like a high wire taunt, as Rick Emerson said in Unmask Alice. And do I have any other books of hers that I haven't yet read? I think all the main ones I just haven't read are like the Almost Lost, the Kim, Empty Inside, and Voices. I think those are like the only ones left to get to. And then of course I do have that video I mentioned, like ripping apart Jay's journal. It's disgusting what she did to that family. That alone should disqualify her from like being taken seriously. And I saw a couple of people have like commented on my like video, or like made their own like comments referencing the video link to it. Oh, go ask Alice, like, help me stay off of drugs. I don't care if it's fake as long as it helps the kids, as Sparks would say. Well, guess what? She was a fraud. Like, she made this stuff up. It's not realistic. Like, you should not, I mean, great if you stayed off of drugs, never touched them, but like you should have had like a better reason besides like Mormon propaganda that doesn't even sound like a real teenager talking. I could rant about this woman all freaking day long. And last year I did a pen to top 10 on PenTube topics I was looking forward to doing. Unfortunately, to date, that video has only had 9 views. It has 0 comments, and 1 person disliked it. Like, so why couldn't you tell me what you disliked about my planned topics and suggest better ones you wanted me to do? That just seems like a hit and run, like troll just being mean for the sake of meanness. So, like, I still didn't get around to, I don't think, any of the pen videos I was so excited about, like talking about that video. I just figured if no one was watching this video, no one commented, why should I even bother doing these videos? And that just the only pen videos I did throughout this year were like unboxings and then the ink vent, which I just wrapped up. And I do have a video planned in the next day or two before the end of the year, just talking about like the recap and ranking of the different ink vent swatches. I just keep pulling out blues and like greens and stuff. So like, you know, my favorite inks, the ones I didn't like, the ones like I want in a pen now, the ones, you know, I would like a full bottle of, the ones that weren't my style, just general stuff like that. I'm going to be really looking forward to doing that recap and ranking video. And just yeah, I have another like final pen boxing for the end of the year for my Hebrew birthday. I'm coming up. It starts tonight and through tomorrow, but just I'm gonna have a lot of fun with like those remaining videos. And yeah, I do have a number of pen videos planned for the year. I just was like way too like took it too hard and personally when like no one was interested in my top 10 video. I thought, oh, people are going to click on that one for sure, like top 10, like, but nope, nope, nope. I'm just still a very unpopular channel, but you know, whatever, like, who cares if people are clicking or not. You know, I'm going to continue making videos on topics I enjoy, like, whether or not I'm ever like going viral or anything. Like, I have almost 500 subscribers as of this date, but it still feels kind of like I only have like 5 or 10 or whatever, because I just don't get particularly a lot of comments. And I do very soon, I will be getting back. I'm in arrears of responding to comments because I've been doing a lot of focus on writing, but definitely I have not like ignored or forgotten about responding to comments. I'm just a little bit in arrears. And so thank you guys very much for watching this like kind of all over the place, like rambly, unscripted video about my channel plans for 2025. And I will see you guys again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.